Look, national sovereignty of the United States government, and people very often conflate, unfortunately, U.S. society and the U.S. government, who are totally two different things. I mean, the U.S. government has its own interests, and American society and the individual American have their own, I mean, so they shouldn't be conflated. And should we try to maintain national sovereignty by having border controls and so forth? Look, this should be a non-problem. If we had no welfare of any type in this country, we'd only attract the best people. But the way it is right now, I mean, you come to the United States and you can live at the emergency room for your medical problems, and you can get on welfare, and your kids have free schooling and so forth. So more than in the past now, we're tending to draw people that are looking for the freebies as opposed to the opportunity. So this whole thing with national sovereignty, look, I don't care who comes to the U.S., I don't care what color they are, I don't care what their I don't care about any of this type of thing. Why not? Because I'm willing to go and live in any other country. And 100 years from now, the world is going to be a melange. It's going to be a world culture. I mean, this is getting back to the idea that the nation state is a dead duck and it's going to cease to exist. So no, I don't believe in trying to control our borders or anything like that. In fact, the U.S. as a geographical country, I don't think is going to exist in 50 years. I'll give you one reason why not. Because what do you think the chances are that with, let's say, Southern California being like 60% Mexican immigrants, that a young Chicano guy is going to pay 25% of his income to Social Security to support some old white broad in Massachusetts? I'd say the odds of that are slim and none, and slim's out of town. And when these young guys like that decide not to do it, it's game over. Look, where I spend time during the summer outside of Aspen, Colorado, one of the wealthiest places in the country, I go to this Mexican restaurant down the pike in Basalt sometimes, and on the wall of this Mexican restaurant, they have a sign that talks about the Reconquista of the southwestern U.S. I mean, this is amazing. My maid in Aspen, I have to pay her $18 an hour cash money with no taxes, and I'm lucky to get her. And I have to speak Spanish to her. So things are changing right before our very eyes. And this whole idea of border control is only going to help to make the country into a police state. It's not going to stop the flow of people. It shouldn't stop the flow of people. It's going to happen. So no, I'm not for any kind of controls to maintain the national sovereignty. I don't believe in the national sovereignty, which apparently Mr. Rockefeller and all these people don't believe in either. But I absolutely don't want to replace it with one world government. What I want to replace it with is the sovereignty of the individual. I want to see 6 billion sovereign individuals on the planet, not one superstate that these 6 billion are under the control of, and therefore under the control of the people that are going to arrogate to themselves the right to control everybody else. I don't believe in one person controlling another person in a coercive way. So I know that there are people that are working for more political power for themselves, but trying to keep the United States sovereign isn't the solution to this problem, because the United States itself is turning into a police state, and I certainly don't want to see it replaced with a world government, which would amount to a world police state. Then where are you going to run if things get bad? They're in control of everything. So, no, look, I'm opposed to the idea of government in principle, whether it's national government or a supranational world government. The bigger it is, the worse it is. The smaller it is, government, the better it is. And the ideal government would be 6 billion individual people governing themselves, in effect. And that's what we call a free market.